guys, and welcome back to another video on my channel. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. Now, in full honesty, I am not really prepared for this video. It is going to be more of a I guess speaking video, talking a little bit about my thoughts and asking you guys about your thoughts. It's also 1 in the morning. I can't find my lipstick, which is just normal in my life, and I'm kind of at a stage now where I'm like, if I'm inspired to record, I need to record before I lose my nerve because I'm kind of getting back into the swing of things. So I apologize for just the way I look and just my lack of research, but I want to talk about this topic. Basically, I was thinking a little bit in terms of game lore, and I was actually thinking a little bit about Skyrim lore. I was thinking about different types of lore that has absolutely nothing to do with The Sims, but my mind basically managed to wander back to The Sims because something that's very interesting with The Sims franchise is that there was some really good in-depth lore with the first 3 games, but when the 4th game came out, the Sims team just decided to destroy everybody's hearts and get rid of all the lore they have previously built and just refuse to add new lore. Now, it seems like recently that has started to change. I've been seeing quite a few videos pop up, and I will admit I haven't watched them in detail, but I have seen video titles or video thumbnails pop up talking about, hey, The Sims 4 finally added lore with this new world, or hey, you know, secret Bella Goth lore revealed in the decoration objects. And something that I found very interesting is that I was the type of person, when I was little, I couldn't give like 2 shakes about any of the lore. I hated the pre-made neighborhoods in The Sims 2. It scared me for some reason, and I refused to play them. But getting older, I really loved learning about like Don Lothario and Bella Goth and, you know, the Caliente twins, and it was so interesting to me. I was so obsessed with knowing every single little bit of lore in The Sims games. But when The Sims 4 came out, it completely like shattered everything for me. Basically, with the previous Sims games, there are different timelines that you can follow that kind of give you more hints about the character's past or the character's future, or descriptions kind of saying what was going on in their lives, or little hints towards some certain mysteries going on, and it made it like really fun to follow. As an adult, I went back to play The Sims 2 pre-made neighborhoods that had all of this history, and it was really fun playing Don Lothario, knowing his background of being a playboy, because then all of a sudden he's wants to like constantly woohoo, be in different relationships and stuff. It felt more personal to the character, even though all romance Sims kind of get that want. It felt really good playing Don Lothario, knowing his background history, and the same, like I said, with the Caliente twins, the Goth household, even the Dreamers. But when the Sims 4 game came out, players quickly noticed that it didn't follow any of the storylines, and there didn't seem to be any lore behind the characters. Even married Sims didn't seem to have like good relationships with each other. Just the BFF household is a complete nightmare as well. It's said that the 2 girls are fighting over Travis Scott, but for some reason it doesn't seem like that. I don't even think they started with romance bars, and so The Sims 4 was a complete mess, and to explain it away, and I think it was kind of a coward's way out, they basically said, hey, this is a different reality. This has nothing to do with the lore, so deal with it. And that's why Bella Goth was a part of the household. Ages didn't match up, and that's kind of their excuse to get away with not carrying on the lore. Now it seems, at least in my opinion, that they are trying to add a little bit of lore behind it, and a lot of Simmers are like really excited because it's something we've been asking for years, right? I've been one of those people also asking for lore, but honestly for me it feels like something has kind of changed, and I guess this is where I want other people's opinions on it as well. Is it too late for the Sims team to save The Sims 4 by adding last minute lore? And by that I mean they seem to be making an effort to put lore behind their worlds, to put lore with decorations, but for me it's been 10 years and now you want to give us the lore? It kind of feels like it's a little too late. For me, it's a really strange feeling because I love exploring the lore and following along, but when they decided they weren't going to do that with The Sims 4, I just kind of lost all excitement about the world building, and it kind of made it feel like very bland to me. I feel like, and maybe this is just my perspective, but whenever I see a video come out talking about, hey, they finally added lore to The Sims 4, I don't get excited like I used to when there was a video talking about The Sims 2 lore or The Sims 3 lore or even The Sims 1 lore. And I don't know if it's a case of I've just simply grown up and maybe my interests have changed. However, I don't think that's true because there's other video games like Skyrim, for example, where I am super interested in learning every single little bit about the lore. Even like certain TV shows based off of books, I like seeing the details in the books that weren't really in the show, and it kind of gives me a little bit of background history as to like the character and their achievements and kind of why they chose to do certain actions. I think lore is a very important part for any sort of storytelling, and even video games similar to The Sims, where you do have multiple games released under a singular franchise. It's always good to have lore behind the characters, but for some reason they just decided to wait 10 years before kind of giving us what we wanted. Hey, it's Editing Katie here. I just wanted to quickly pop in and talk a little bit about the fact that they waited like 10 years until they started kind of building lore, and they have released little bits and bobs here and there to kind of include some lore, but it's not to the same extent as the previous games, and it kind of makes me wonder if The Sims 4 had as much lore as The Sims 2. I feel like The Sims 4 would be a completely different game, probably not in terms of like bugs, mechanics, just the overwhelming packs, the price increases, like all of that stuff. If you put it aside, playing the actual game itself could be a little bit more interesting, considering that I believe they have officially released their 100th DLC, which is a lot for a video game. But imagine if with those 100 DLCs, every single pack released, if there was like a world involved with new characters, if every single one of those characters had a backstory or a current story going on, I'm just playing with my bottle now, but if they had some depth behind them, I wonder how different the game would actually be. Because even though their actions wouldn't be different, let's say, for example, and I don't know many of the characters or the worlds or anything, but let's talk about in Windenburg, you have, it's not the BFF household, can't really remember in detail. I think there was like Eva, I think there was Jade, Rosa, and then I think there was a man, Joaquin, maybe? Was Mitchell there too? I don't know. But for example, it's kind of like they built it to be perceived as like this party house with friends and stuff. But imagine if there was actual lore behind it, if there was already romances in the game, if descriptions kind of reflected that in the game, then all of a sudden if your character is marrying, for example, Jade Rosa, which my character, like, she's a pretty sim, I tend to go for her, but if there was already some sort of like jealous ex because she lives this party life and so she's dated around a lot, or something like that with any character, and your character gets involved with that, once the pre-made characters added into the household, it feels like they have more history behind them, rather than just like these shells of empty characters that you can contribute. I think that's something I've been thinking about, and I didn't necessarily say in this video, is that they've released 100 DLCs, and it seems like only recently they are mostly focusing on kind of building lore and history behind characters. That kind of gives them a little bit of history. That gives them a bit of different information behind it, and it makes them, I think, more appealing to have wandering around your world or added to your household, or even if you just play them, it's nice to have that background. So having 10 years without this intense lore like we did for The Sims 1, for The Sims 2, for The Sims 3, I think that's a big reason why this game feels so dull to so many people, including me. I honestly tried to play The Sims 4, and it keeps feeling like things are missing. And like I said, this is not the only issue with the game whatsoever, but I think if they had created The Sims 4 keeping the lore in mind and being true to the previous lore, maybe Bella Goth is with a family of aliens, or maybe she is with the household but they're a lot older and now she has memories of being returned, or even if she wasn't in that world, in a different world, I think that would have gone a long way with Sims and would have really changed a lot of the initial experiences Sims had. I'll be honest, EA lost me very quickly, very early on in the Sims 4 franchise. I genuinely tried for years, but pretty soon I realized, hey, this isn't the game I wanted. This isn't the game worth the amount of money I paid for. And I wonder if having the initial lore would have changed that, because adding lore now, I don't care. I'm not interested in the game anymore. They already broke that. But if they added it sooner, things could have been different. That's kind of like the point I'm trying to make, or a conversation that I'm trying to start, but I didn't exactly say that in the video. I kind of just like have these like long conversations, but I did want to just add that in. Maybe sometime in the future, probably when I'm doing a bit better mentally, I'll go through the deep, dark depth of The Sims 4 and see all of the lore that I've introduced and kind of compare it to old lore, and maybe I can do a proper video, a proper researched video talking about this topic. But for now, I just kind of wanted to do a more talk through this my thoughts type of video, and yeah, maybe there's some people out there that can relate to me. Please let me know down below in the comments what you guys think of this matter. Are you guys similar to me and just kind of don't get that joy whenever you hear about the new Sims 4 lore, or are you like the other Simmers? And I have seen some people excited, and that's great, but are you more on the side of like, finally we're getting lore, this is what I've always wanted? And do you feel like happy after learning the lore? Do you feel satisfied? Do you feel more curious? Do you feel like you want more knowledge to kind of improve the story? Or are you like me and you're just kind of over the whole thing? Let me know down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so that you're notified every time I post a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.